to give a shout out to my sponsors, Womack Development Company and Realtor, and Morgan and Associates Dental.
It's another opportunity for guys. You have the XFL now. You got the USFL. So this creation, this new league, obviously brings some is just returning. But it's another opportunity for our guys and creates other professional opportunities for them after college.
Yeah, I think it's a good situation myself. Mm-hmm. And from all indications, one more time, family, the day is the 22nd. They played an XFL game here in Houston, Texas, and they had the lower bowl of the stadium filled out. And so there is interest. There was interest in the XFL before they folded during COVID. And San Antonio is a good team. They always are going to respond to any type of professional or semi-professional football or sport because they want to be big time. And I feel like San Antonio eventually is going to get into the NFL because they will represent and be there at a game. I think they had the largest crowd, if I'm not mistaken, San Antonio this past weekend, but they're only going to get bigger. So here we go. Here are some of the players that are going to be in the Legacy Bowl. We got 3 from TSU. Derek Tucker, a safety, Drake Centers, offensive tackle, and Derek Cooper, a linebacker. So it's a great opportunity for these guys. Alabama A&M, Isaiah Cox, a wide receiver that I think was all SWAC. Was he all SWAC wide receiver, Isaiah from A&M, or was that last year?
I'm not sure. Not sure. I don't remember the name. The name doesn't ring a bell, but I'm sure they definitely had some receivers that were pretty good past few years.
Okay. Now, Southern University, which if you can recall my show from the preseason football season, we went over, they had 3 offensive linemen picked to be all SWAC, and all 3 of those guys are going to go to the Legacy Bowl. Brian Williams, they got Jason Dumas is going to be on the defensive line. And they got a linebacker from Southern, Jordan Lewis, who was picked to be last year's Defensive Player of the Year. I don't know, Coach, did he actually win that as Defensive Player of the Year?
He didn't play as much, but he's definitely a guy that can definitely project to the NFL. He's a guy that's played primarily defensive end, and they obviously trying to get him ready for the NFL. They moved him to linebacker. So,
linebacker.
Yep, he's definitely a player.
Okay. We have this kid from Bethune-Cookman that's been on everybody's radar, tight end, about 6'5", 240, run good. Kamari Everett. You familiar with the guy, the tight end from Bethune-Cookman?
Yes, sir. He's one of the kids that I think got all SWAC. So he's a guy that tremendous length and a guy that can stretch the field and create some problems for those linebackers and safeties.
And the only quarterback they got from the SWAC was Skylar Perry, who was the quarterback at UAPB. So the SWAC will be represented real well in the Legacy Bowl this upcoming weekend. Other news, 2 shows back, I introduced all the new coaches coming into the CIAA, the SIAC, MEAC, and the SWAC. And there's a new coach over this past couple of weeks that's gotten hired at Kentucky State, which is in the SIAC. This guy is Felton Huggins. He was assistant coach at McNeese State, and he played at Southeastern Louisiana. Might you know him? I know you're Louisiana.
No, sir. Don't know him. I did recently see the news, so but I don't personally know him.
You don't personally know him? Seemed to be a young guy, too. Looked like he had all the receiving records at Southeast Louisiana, and but he is going to be the new head coach at Kentucky State. And one more time, Kentucky State is in the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. Now, what we got next is we're going to go over the men's and women's SWAC baseball scores real quick. On Saturday, Alcorn beat Jackson State. Grambling State beat Southern. Prairie View beat UAPB. TSU beat Mississippi Valley State. A big win for us. Alabama A&M beat Bethune-Cookman, and FAMU beat Alabama State. Now, Monday, the men's game, TSU won another big one. They beat UAPB 64-59. Prairie View beat Mississippi Valley State 67-65. Bethune-Cookman beat Alabama State 70-65, and FAMU beat Alabama A&M. So the Florida schools beat the Alabama schools and the Texas schools. We beat Valley and UAPB over the weekend. 2 much needed wins for PV and Texas Southern. I feel like if we can just get into the tournament, there shouldn't be anybody that we should be afraid of. But there's been so many games this year that Texas Southern has basically, I don't want to say giveaway because I don't want to demean or lower the effort that the other school put forward. But I just feel like there were 3 games we lost we should not have even lost. But that's neither here or there, but I think we're on our way back. In the women's, we had Jackson State this Saturday beat Alcorn, Southern beat Grambling, PV beat UAPB, TSU beat Mississippi Valley State University, our 2nd win. Alabama A&M beat Bethune-Cookman, and Alabama State beat FAMU. Monday, UAPB beats TSU, Alabama State beat Bethune-Cookman, Prairie View beats Valley, Mississippi Valley, and Alabama A&M beats FAMU. Okay? So with the games coming up this week, I want to one more time ask the listening audience, or if you are in the vicinity of one of these games going on, please attend and show the support that all these HBCUs need. Purchase a ticket, go to the game. Alabama A&M is going to play Alabama State, rivalry game. Southern is going to play Bethune-Cookman. Grambling is going to play FAMU. PV is going to Alcorn. Texas Southern is going to Jackson State. And UAPB is playing Mississippi Valley State University. Now, we all know that the women will play the same schools prior to the men playing. So, the standings right quick. Alcorn is 12-2. Grambling is in 2nd. Southern 3rd. Jackson State 8-6. Alabama A&M 8-7. TSU 7-8. PV 7-8. UAPB 6-9. The top 8 schools will participate in the tournament. Now, there are 2 other schools that's tied with Alabama State. I was telling Chatterbox Hale, our voice of TSU sports, this past Saturday at the game, and that there are 4 schools, maybe 5, that can win any game that they play against another school. So it's so evenly matched this year that I anticipate plenty of upsets going into the tournament. Okay, we're going to move on because I want to give most of our time to our guests because we're going to go over some of the players that TSU, not some, all of the players that TSU has offered scholarships and they've accepted to attend our university. So I want to give most of my time to Coach. Coach, the Super Bowl just was played, and Jalen Hurts and Mahomes put on a show. What do you see the future being for Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles?
I think he's going to continue to make those guys competitive. He's a warrior. He's a competitor. Most importantly, he's showing the world that he can be a quarterback, and he's definitely doing that. Each week he has an opportunity to play. So.
It's almost like any type of classification of sports. High school, junior high, college. You just need your opportunity, and when your opportunity comes, you have to take advantage of it. I think he fell into the right coach because there were skepticism last year about if he had an NFL throwing arm and ability and all this good stuff. He went into the laboratory and come out this year looking 100% better.
No doubt, and just going back to his college days, he was a guy that got replaced by a guy, and then he didn't waver. He just continued to stay strong and where he was at, and then he had an opportunity to go somewhere else, and he made opportunity to that. So that's when success happens, when preparation meets opportunity, and that's what he's got. So
exactly. And Mahomes, we don't even need to talk on Mahomes throwing passes
Right.
sideways, behind his back, on the run. He was playing somebody about 2 games for the playoffs, and he looked like he was running out of bounds. He was doing like that, and the guy was caught it going for about another 10 yards. So we don't even need to speak on
Right.
Patrick Mahomes.
He's special.
He's special. There you go. He's special. Okay. One last thing. If you guys didn't know, FYI for you, there were 2 HBCU rookies that got rings with Kansas City. You got Brian Cook that actually played at Howard University. His last year he was at Cincinnati, but the Bisons are claiming him. So Howard University, Brian Cook, and then you got Joshua Williams, a defensive back from Fayetteville State. So once again, we go back to, we don't care nothing about nothing. You think Brian Cook and Joshua Williams cared about if they had a 3-star or a 2-star or a 4-star by their name? No. They went right on to these small universities and made the best of it. And that's what these kids got to do. Don't worry about the stars by your name and what have you. You got a scholarship to a university, trust me, if you good, they are going to come and they're going to see you. Even if it's on a tryout, they're going to see you. And the XFL debuted this past week, and there was a running back from the Guardians from North Carolina A&T. So one more time, you just have to take advantage of your opportunity. And I predict there are going to be some players from the USFL and the XFL that get NFL tries. Cowboys kickoff return and punt returner played in the USFL last year. So you never know. NBA real quick, and we're going on to coach. In the NBA, we got the Celtics, the Bucks, Philadelphia, and the Cavs in the East. Top 4 teams. We got West, we got the Nuggets, Grizzlies, Kings, and Clippers. I know you're a football guy, but I'm going to ask you some basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the West, the Nuggets, Grizzlies, Kings, and Clippers, or anybody, Suns. I forgot to put the Suns in after they got the ring. Who you see coming out of the West?
Well, I really don't care. I mean, I'm a LeBron guy, so at the end of the day, I'm all about players. So.
Family, I should have pulled my Laker jersey out and came out here because I didn't know he was a Laker fan. I did a couple of my first 2 shows, my Laker gear, and my guys don't let me forget it.
Yeah.
When we go on vacation, and they always sending me texts, "Oh, y'all going on vacation?" I said, "Yeah, but that's okay. We'll be back." So I'm a LeBron guy too, but in the West, being a sports guy, reporter, I'm gonna say it's between the Suns and the Nuggets. Now, if you get Kevin Durant, you got to be in the mix.
All right.
The Celtics, the Bucks, Philadelphia, and the Cavs in the East.
Give me those names again.
The Celtics, the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Philadelphia, Harden, Embiid, and then you got the Cavaliers, the top 14.
I think the Celtics are. They were so close last year. I think they're the most complete team. So.
I think they're on a mission,
Mm-hmm.
but it looks like the Bucks, they're picking up the pace a little bit.
Right.
My earlier show, our family, I know y'all heard me say I can't trust the Bucks, but it looks like Giannis and they got a couple new players. They're not jiving around. So I got the Celtics and the Bucks. And one more time, I'm gonna go back and retract. Actually, I'm gonna have 3 teams out of the West. I'm gonna say the Clippers, the Suns, and the Nuggets could come out. So those are my 3. Okay, family. Without further ado, I want to welcome in the recruiting coordinator for Texas Southern University and the receivers coach, none other than Coach Wilson. Coach Wilson, welcome to the show again. And what I'm going to do is, because I want to go over the players that we brought in. I got them, as you can go down the list and go with them.
I'll
let
follow
you
you.
go.
I'll follow you. Take lead on those, and I'll definitely tell you what those guys definitely bring to the table.
Okay. Okay, let's go with the first 8 that we got.
Okay.
Because family, they're early recruiting period and a actual signing date in February. So we're going to go over the guys that made a decision in December to come to Texas Southern University through the auspices, big word, family, of Coach Wilson. Him going out and his staff recruiting and uncovering players. He and I spoke before the lights came on about how They got combines and what have you. But I'm from the old school, and I can go see a player as when I saw Andrew Body on film, Texas Southern. I couldn't wait to tell everybody we finally got a quarterback, and we can't go anywhere without that. And it came to fruition that he is the guy. But I'm getting ready to tell you now, family, we got another quarterback, and Andrew's still my guy. I say, but you got to have somebody sitting there prepared, ready to keep up the slack and keep the train moving. Correct, Coach?
I agree. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so we're going to start with Cameron Evans. And family, there are going to be a few clips that's going to be on here during the show. I'm going to let you know now, just to highlight a few of these guys that I got stars by. Cameron Evans, Shreveport, Louisiana, 6'3", 210. Give us a little insight on it.
Cam is a tremendous quarterback who's very cerebral. He's finished up at Huntington High School, who finished up in their record books. So he's a guy that's developed, played probably started 3 years for those guys, and he's did a tremendous job of getting those guys who's actually already here on campus working out. Was an early enrollee. So
great.
He's here already, and he's going to provide some depth and competition to that room.
As you and I were talking earlier, he had the same type of numbers similar to Andrew. Not the same numbers, but 2,500 yards in a year is great. It ain't 4,000 like Andrew, but when you throwing the ball on the rock every other play, those type of things, 45 touchdowns, but 24 touchdowns is nothing to scribble about either. So I am definitely excited about this kid.
Yeah, we are too. He's a good high school quarterback who comes from a tremendous family and a good program. So we're excited about getting him into our program and developing him. Obviously, we got to make sure we have competition at every room. So
I got you. Okay, Marcus Neal, defensive back from Channelview, and I want you to tell me a little something about him. I hope he's as good as his predecessor. But go ahead.
He is definitely as good as his predecessor. He's a guy that he's played both sides of the ball. Tremendous athlete, tremendous upside. He's a guy that was getting recruited by some Group of 5 schools, to be honest with you. And so we're excited to have him. He's a guy that's going to bring a tremendous amount of skill set to our program and to the defensive back room. So we're excited about getting our hands on him. Coach DG is probably the most excited about him as well. So
right. I'm seeing here, Coach, where the Houston Touchdown Club had him as a preseason wide out, but we getting him as a DB. I like that because most DBs, they make them DBs because they can't catch. They got speed and athletic ability, but they can't catch that rock. But this kid here was going to be a wide receiver, or played wide receiver and DB. Yeah. So
I think that helps. Anytime you have a defensive back that's played both sides of the ball, he understands what the receivers are trying to do to him. So that's only going to help his game. It's only going to be able to make his decisions much faster and obviously be more instinctful when it's time to be able to break on those balls. So I think that definitely helps.
Okay. I like him. Then we have Elinus Noel III.
Yeah, Big E.
Big E. That family. I just getting ready to say we got us a hog in the milk. Mm-hmm. We got us a hog and I'm not Elinus. If you see me, please don't walk up and smack me. I'm not calling you that. I'm just referring back to the day you definitely too young. Washington Redskins had people called the Hogs, big guys. So, but anyway, we got a big one in the defensive front. I think this other kid, Zero, out of nowhere came to me. He had to have been here, but I didn't see Zero play last year until like the 4th or 5th game. You get these two guys to anchor that middle.
You must be in our meetings. So Elinus is a guy that definitely can add to that room. The guy you're speaking of is Vera Montez Pippins. He's a guy that we got through the transfer portal. So the transfer portal has been good to us this year, and we're excited about Big E. Yeah, he is a guy that can definitely anchor in the middle of those trenches.
Yes, family. This other guy Pippins is probably about 6'4", about 300, right, or something like that.
Yes.
And when they can't go up the middle, it's hard. It's hard because then now you can get ready for everything coming off tackle. So we have this kid, Elinus Noel III from Homer, Louisiana, Nickel State. So he has experience. And what's his classification? I didn't see.
He's going to be a junior, so he has 2 years left to play. So he's a guy that we're definitely excited about having an add to that defensive line room.
And it looks like he's not just a big guy in the middle. he makes some tackles.
Yeah, he does. He's
I mean, look like he covers the field.
He's been very productive. He actually moves well, and it pretty much comes down to relationships. That guy got in the transfer report, and first guy he reached out to was a guy he had a prior relationship with before he went to Nichols, and that's Coach Caesar. So transfer report has been good to us, and again, it's all about relationships.
Fantastic. Okay, we have Xavier Player, another transfer from UTSA, a 6-foot cornerback. I like the height.
Yes.
Does he have everything else to go with it?
Yes, we're excited about him. Obviously a guy that's has some experience. Comes from UTSA, obviously transfer portal. Another guy that we feel real good about. Coach DG feels real good about it. A guy we vetted that we feel like can come in and actually come in and compete right away. So we're excited about getting him here in this summer.
Okay, now Coach DG, what's his full name?
Coach Darren Garrigan.
Now, and he is the
he's the defensive backs coach.
Okay,
Yes.
no problem. I mean, we use everything. Hey, that's fine. I just want family to understand who they talking. What you're talking about. Michael Porter. Here's another thing I like. Cibolo, depending on where you at in San Antonio.
Right.
That's what they call it. Winning program. This next kid, Michael Porter, DeSoto, Texas. Winning program. Defensive back. How did we come out of there with him?
I think we did a good job of recruiting him. Our other secondary coach who moved on, Coach Sanders, did a good job of recruiting him from DeSoto. Coach Mathis, who we've had a good relationship with wherever he's been, and Coach Mathis, obviously they won state, so anytime you get a state championship caliber player, that's going to do nothing but provide.
Now this kid started on the state team.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Oh,
He was a
exactly.
for those guys.
You got to hear that. You. And the reason why, being an ex-player, you got to have some people that's going to keep other people in line, because winners don't like to lose. Right, Coach?
No doubt.
So I'm sitting over here getting myself ready, and you over there jaw-jacking and messing around. See, the winner is going to come out, and this kid, he going to, he may not rush over into him and say, what you doing, and get this and that, but he going to come at him in the right way. Hey, come on over here, bro. We come in and help me run another 40, 50. Guard me while I go out for 10, 12 more passes and something. In other words, they're going to make them go beyond what's asked.
Hold each other accountable, most important.
That's what I was looking for. That's the term, hold each other accountable. Okay. Rorion Richardson, wide receiver from Humble Creek, 6'1", 185. Talk to me.
Yeah, high school receiver we're excited about. Great relationship with Rorion. He's the guy that can definitely come in and bring some depth. Tremendous competitor. He's a guy that come from another winning program that's been very competitive. Those guys lost in the semifinals in the playoffs this year. So he's played a lot of good football in 6A program. So,
family, I want to let you know something. As I used to tell people all the time, people would say, well, Texas, we can't get the state and all state and the first team. I said, you got players on first team all district and second team all district that if the coaching comes in and does what it should do, they can develop players.
Right.
You got some kids that's a defensive lineman, 6'1", 2 years, he's 6'4".
Right.
You don't know if they stop growing or not. Yeah. So I like the fact that this kid here is first team out of a dynamic district. 21-6A, you got a Tascasita, Humble, you got some firepower, Channel View, you got some teams out there.
Right.
North Shore, so you got to come to play. So I like this kid also. Jacob Washington, running back, 6', 195. So we got a big kid. This is the bruiser here. So did you actually go out and see him, or was he suggested to you?
Yeah, we had a couple coaches go out and see him play. I didn't actually get a chance to see him in person, but he's definitely a guy that's been vetted by our whole staff. Like you said, he's a bruiser, but he has enough speed to be able to take the distance as well. So that's one thing we do. We want to try to bring something unique and different to that room, and I think that he brings that. And he's a guy that's again come from a good program. You talk about Shadow Creek. So
I was getting ready to say when you finish Shadow Creek, another winning program.
Yeah.
I had Coach on a couple years ago, and his first thing was that Rose, and we're going to try to recruit winners. People that's used to winning.
Right.
Because trust me, winning is contagious just like losing is contagious.
Yes, it is.
Losing is contagious and winning is contagious also. Okay, we got Jace Wilson, quarterback, 5'11", Missouri City, transfer in from Furman.
Yes. We're another guy that, man, has a tremendous arm. You know, a dual threat guy that can definitely bring some competition and definitely bring some depth. He has a great ball. He's already here working out with our guys.
Okay.
And so he's another guy that we want to be able to create competition in every room, and he's a guy that definitely brings that.
Oh yes. I had forgot about him. I was so excited about the first quarterback. I forgot about him, but trust me, I remember reading on him. Okay, now these are the first guys. Let me go back to the ones that we just recently got.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go over them now. Give me a chance, family. You see, I'm trying to elevate my game. I got my little laptop here, not on pencil and paper. And one of my female clients and watchers tell me, Coach,
Yeah.
Rose, get you a computer or iPad or something.
So you've upgraded, huh?
Yeah, I've upgraded. I say, but I'm used to a pencil and pad. I'm old school. But anyway, before we go there, TSU breaks ground for new athletic strength and conditioning facility. Tell us the significance of having that.
It's very significant. You know, we look around the SWAC, you look around the league. Facilities are important. You know, we eat food with our eyes, and the way we recruit those guys want to be able to see certain things. And you know, this is just another piece is going to help. And we appreciate our great president, our athletic director, and obviously all the supporters that have put forth the effort to go ahead and get this for us. So I think it's going to provide dividends and provide a tremendous amount of help for our program.
I can't see anything but good coming from it. You know, you now you got your own weight room, little weight area that we had previously. Somebody else can use it now, basketball or whoever.
Right.
They can have their privacy with that. But I think what the Maroon and Gray Club is trying to do now is, FYI, we are trying to furnish. We're doing a campaign to submit your donations in. We're going to try to buy the weights to help put in there. And so I already sent my little 2 cents in. So we need everybody. Contact Maroon and Gray, Nate, president of Maroon and Gray, and let them know that, hey, I want to donate something to help us get our weight.
Yeah, let's get that on. Make sure we get that out. It's not just the Maroon and Gray, but everybody. You know, anybody that's willing to support TSU.
Thank you, Coach.
We definitely need that
Coach,
support.
I want you to look into that camera and tell them one more time what you just
We
said.
definitely need that support. Those kids need the support. We look forward to all the contributions and donations you guys are willing to support us with, and you know, you'll definitely see the results of your donations on the field and on the different playing surfaces as well. So
Yes, and that's all I was going to say. And that is donate $50, $25. Just, you know, get in touch with Nate with Maroon and Gray Alumni Association, and they'll show you how to submit your funds, or get in touch direct with the athletic department if that's what you want to do. If you don't want to go to an alumni association, go straight to the athletic department. Chris LeBlanc, Kevin Granger, Kevin Adams over at Texas Southern, they all can help you. Okay, now let's go to the actual signing date, the players. And we got some more. I'm excited again. You know, I get excited, family, because we have to keep feeding the yard or the grass for it to grow. That was an analogy saying that we have to keep bringing players in. And it looks like that's what we're doing. Okay, Walt to Z Champ, defensive end, 6 foot 235. When I looked at the film on this kid, it looked like he was a terror, about 6'3" or 6'4" and 6 foot, and they couldn't block him.
yeah, he's about 6 foot and a half, and he's definitely something to reckon with. He brings a tremendous amount of power and strength, and he's a guy that was going to help that defensive line.
Wow, and I mean, family, all you got to do is go to the website, TSU, and go to the athletic department, and then look at the recruits and hit up the highlight on this kid. Yeah, you think he's 6'3" or 6'4", they can't block him, and do you think they might do a linebacker on him?
Well, we've talked about it, but we think his best attribute has been to put his hand down
on the edge,
and be able to set the edge. And he's a guy, you know, had a tremendous amount of years. You know, those guys won the state championship in the small 1A in Louisiana. And this past year they lost in the state championship game, but he was named to
another winner.
Yeah, named to the. You know, he's still defensive MVP and named to the small town U.S. Army All-American team. So
yeah, he's legit. I saw him. I saw him on film. And one more time, I don't need to combine all that. I go by what I see. And so then we got Quadarius Davis, wide receiver, 6 foot, Dallas, Texas, Jackson State.
Yeah, I'm excited about Quay. Quay's a guy, just looking at coming out of high school, I think he was ranked top 5 receiver in the nation.
What?
But he's a guy that, obviously went to Jackson State, and then now he's obviously got in transfer portal, and we again had that relationship. Our head coach had a relationship with his prior head coach, Coach Johnson, and we built a relationship before he actually went to Jackson, and I'm on the road recruiting and I get a call from him. So, just go back to relationships.
Yeah, that's great. You don't burn any bridges, because you didn't get a kid that first time to say, I appreciate it. I appreciate you showing me.
And wish him well.
Yeah, wish you well. Yeah. If ever you need me,
right,
hit me up. Giovanni Harper, DB, 5'11", 175, Los Angeles, San Jose State.
Another kid we got through the transfer portal who's already here working out. A kid that we're excited about that's going to help us on the back end, bring some experience that we feel like we need, that can take our defense back room to the next level.
I'm thinking we're going to be in good hands. I was, myself and a few other guys were so depressed when is his name Isaiah Hamilton?
Mm-hmm.
When Isaiah Hamilton, we got the word he went over to university. But one more time, all that does is create an opportunity for the next individual that's ready to grab the bull by the horn.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it does, is create an opportunity. And so I think Giovanni Harper, San Jose State having D1 experience, I think he's going to be good in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And this next one, this is the jewel of the I was going to say draft, but this is the jewel of the recruitment to me. If you were not at the games, family, it's tough when you can get to the 25, 4th and 3, and you got to go for it because you don't have a kicker. You don't have a 4th and 4 from the 30, you got to go for it because you don't have a kicker.
Right.
4th and 4 from the 15, you got to go for it because you don't have a kicker. So we have a kicker named Patrick Helen from Buda, Texas, 5'8", 165. Mm-hmm. Forget all of that. Now, I just talked about ain't supposed to be no stars, but I'm going to mention stars on this. This is a 4-star place kicker and punter. Is he the punter also?
Yeah, he's a combo guy that can definitely do both. So he's a guy that we're very excited about him. He's a guy that has the opportunity to come in and be able to contribute right away, whether that be punting, whether it be kicking, depending on where coach decides to put him at. But he's definitely a guy that's going to be a tremendous asset.
Okay, now you said, well, if coach decides to put him in, did we get another kicker by chance or something?
Yeah, we had some on the roster already. The only reason, he got hurt at the end of the year, so. Curtis Falkenberg is a guy that returned, so we're excited about him as well. So.
Yeah, well, if it's the one prior to, and Curtis, I'm not talking about you, it looked like 35 might have been his range,
right.
But this kid here got 50 yarders in high school.
Yes.
So, Curtis, you got to be on your game if you want to see the field this year. You got to be on your game because this kid is for real. We got Ibuka Okafor. Mm-hmm. It's another one I love. 6'6", 310, A-Leaf Texas.
Yes.
Good players out there.
Yes. We're excited about it. Buka had some guys that pushed for him late, but we stayed fast. And then Coach Ramirez is all about building that relationship. The relationship we built is kind of overwhelming. It was overwhelming to him, and it kind of swayed him to obviously be able to continue to pick Texas Southern because he was a guy that we're very excited about.
6'6", 310. You had to have some D1 schools after him.
Yes, he did. He had some group of 5 guys pushing for him late, but again, their relationship, it kind of pushed him over the top with that he had built with Coach Ramirez.
I love it. I saw the film and I like that part because being big sometimes doesn't do it. And I'm not going to call no names. We had a big guy a couple of years ago that I thought was going to be the difference, and guy just went right around him. I said, okay, he just be. and not calling any names. Okay, we got Thurman Rayborn, defensive tackle, 6'2", Horn Lake, Mississippi, Northwest Mississippi Community College, perennial junior college that throws out great players. Tell me about it.
Big Rayborn is a guy that definitely, again, shore up those trenches in the middle, provide some depth and provide some competition in that room. We got to be able to stop the run.
Yes.
And we know that. And so we went out and make sure we address those areas. And those guys are going, he's a JUCO guy that has some experience that's going to be able to come in and contribute right away.
I look for him to contribute right. 6'2", wow. we almost getting the way Jimmy Johnson was in Miami. That rotation with players, right, man.
You got to keep those D linemen fresh.
You got to keep them fresh.
Yes.
They get tired of rushing. Yes. They in contact every snap. Everybody talking about football players. There's only one group of players that's in contact. That's from the defensive end to the other side of that ball, right in that middle. There's contact every snap.
Right.
So those guys, you're right, need a break. I love that though. I love them. 6'2", 300. Now, this is, I think, the steal out of Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Zapata. Offensive line, 6'3", 295.
Right.
He didn't want to block guys. The film I saw, family, he wanted to destroy them.
Yes. He's definitely. You see him, you probably think he's a grown man. He's definitely mature. He's mature beyond his years, and he's definitely a guy that we feel like can play from guard to center and can move up and down inside those trenches and be able to provide.
If we don't be careful, I'm looking at this guy maybe starting right here. Now, I don't want to talk about what we had already, but I just like him for he played like a defensive lineman on the film. So I mean, he got that streak in him.
Yeah, he definitely has that mentality that you have to have in those trenches. He's definitely a guy that's gonna push those guys in that room, and who knows, at the end of the day, the best gonna play. Coach gonna find that best five.
Oh yeah, the best gonna play. But I'm see. People didn't understand me when I was on Andrew when he came in. I said, they talking about, well, we got a starter. And I said, look here. No harm to the kid that was starting. I said, but the kid doesn't have with this kid coming in.
Andrew's definitely.
He doesn't have with this kid.
Andrew's,
and I think Coach did him a favor by allowing him to stay start.
Right.
Because if it'd been me, he'd been coming out the gate.
Yeah.
He'd been coming out the gate with me. But family, that is our recruiting names. But now I'm gonna let Coach go off and in depth on some players that he may have something extra to give.
Well, no, just looking back at it, obviously we want to make sure high school has always been our foundation of how we want to recruit this program. Obviously, Coach McKinney, we sit in that war room, and that's what we call it. It's not a decision that one person is making; it's a decision that all of us are making because all these guys affect all of our livelihoods and affect the program, affect the success, thereof of this whole program. So we get in that war room, man. We're actually looking for players. We're not looking for stars.
Right.
And so we watch the tape and we trust our eyes. And Coach is on every person in that room to be honest with their opinion on that kid because that's what it boils down to. Because we want to make sure that we're trusting our own eyes and not the eyes of other people that are outside of the room.
Right. In your estimation, how many on offense did we get?
We signed 7 offensive players, with 2 of those being quarterbacks, 2 of them being offensive linemen, and then 2 receivers and 1 running back.
Okay. On the defensive side?
Defense, we signed 7 as well, so 2 cornerbacks, 2 safeties, and then 3 defensive linemen.
Okay. Now, was this planned or did it just happen this way? You're going to try to balance it out, 7 here and 7 here?
It's definitely not necessarily planned, but at the end of the day, it's every year you try to address needs. Mm-hmm. And so those were some of the needs. And then obviously Coach tries to keep some scholarships available for the best available. And so some of those guys, it wasn't necessarily a need. But if you have a good kid that's out there that you feel like can make your team better, take us over to the next step, then you have to go after those kids.
Okay. Now, let me ask the question. Are we afraid if we see someone in transfer portal from University of Georgia or University of Alabama to send them a note saying, hey, you interested?
Not at all. We do that on the regular. So we are always constantly keeping our eyes on the transfer portal. But the thing you find out most unique is that most of those guys in transfer portal, it really comes down to relationships. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the guys that we had 5 that we got out of the transfer portal this year. And obviously those 5 had a prior relationship with somebody on their staff. So it pretty much comes down to relationships, but we reach out to anybody that's in that portal that we feel like can come in and help TSU get better. So, we're not afraid at all. So
okay. Yeah, because for guys sometimes, since I'm in this business now, they be like, why we don't try to get the transfer? I said, well, they probably do try.
We do.
They do try. But the kids still have the ability to choose and pick where they want to go.
Recruiting is definitely a 2-way street.
They pick and choose where they want to go.
Right.
And so to you, on paper, give me your top 2 because I don't want you to single out no one guy on offense. Some guy.
Man, I'll be honest with you. I really like the guys on the trenches. I think those guys, the defensive linemen, when you talk about Big E and you talk about Rayburn, I think those 2 guys going to help us the most. But at the end of the day, we get better. We stop the run.
Okay.
I think that help us, help our team success.
Waltese.
Waltez Champ
Okay.
is a guy that as well. They can play on the edge and they can bring some value as well. But I think his upside, his future is probably very bright. Once he comes in and gets developed.
If he comes in and plays from a 1A school, it was just meant to be. He's a bad dude. Because a lot of times it takes kids coming from they got 70 kids in the whole school,
right?
And they come play against people that's been playing, like Allen High School, 6,000 students, so they already have experience being around a whole bunch of people. But I just see this kid that, keep your ears to this show. This is my dark horse pick. Everybody know I like the quarterback. I like the two big guys, like he said, in the big offensive tackle. And two big offensive tackles. But this kid right here is my dark horse pick to show something at Texas Southern. Yeah. Now, hopefully, I looked at the film, and I know he was playing single A, but they just couldn't stay in front of him. And so I like what I see with
He
him.
definitely has some will and determination that you just definitely can't measure. You can't measure the size of a man's heart. So I think he's a guy that has a chip on his shoulder. He understands where he come from. He understands the limitations. But most importantly, he's ready to come in and work. So.
I got you. Coach, is there anything you want to tell Tiger Nation out there about the upcoming season? And when does spring practice start?
Spring practice starts March 6th. We'll start March 6th. We'll have our game on April 15th. And so we're excited about the upcoming 2023 season. Obviously, our goal is to play for the championship, and obviously our goal is to play in the Celebration Bowl. So that's our goal.
Yes, that's what it is. Okay, and repeat that one more time for the listening audience. Now, can they attend practices, or will it be special times notifying the public that you can come to this practice or not, or what?
Yeah, anybody can attend the spring game, which is April 15th. I think practices are closed for just family on the other practices, but we'll have our spring game, our annual spring game on April 15th, and then we'll have information out in regards to that and the times and things like that.
So you heard it. Practice is limited to just family members. Regular practices, but the spring game we'll all be able to attend. Correct?
That is correct.
One last thing I want to look at. I was looking at our schedule. We got a pretty good, strong schedule coming up, but I'm looking at. Oh no, I'm not scared. I'm not scared because I like competition, and what I like about this schedule right here is that.
Mr. Womack is the broker and president and CEO of Womack Development Investment Realtors, a private minority-owned full-service commercial and residential real estate brokerage firm. Over the years, he has been known to be a respected community businessman and partner and has received many awards. Now, he sells real estate everywhere, but this specialty is right here in 3rd Ward. This guy can get it taken care of for you.
Last couple of years, we've come out at Prairie View and just been snake bit. I don't get it. I just don't get it. We don't start playing till the second half, and it's too late. Mm-hmm. They up 3 touchdowns, and so you can't do what you came in to do. But anyway, I look for that to be a win. I'm just I just ain't nothing mad about Prairie View because I got plenty of friends. I like the fact we're going to Toledo. The kids need to play someone that it's not A&M. That doesn't mean that Toledo doesn't have a good team. But I feel like if we go in and play, it should be a very competitive game.
I definitely
Your
agree.
thoughts?
I definitely agree. We feel like anybody on our schedule, we feel like we can go out and beat. So we're excited about obviously playing Prairie View, and then the next week going in and play Toledo.
Then we're back at home with Rice.
Mm-hmm.
We've already played Rice close. That doesn't mean that Rice is not good because Rice has gotten better since we played them 2 years ago. I like that game. Grambling State in Louisiana. I don't know how we let Grambling beat us last year, but
we beat Grambling last year. Actually, we beat them 41-7. So
was it Grambling or Southern?
We beat Grambling and Southern.
And so sure did. Cause that was the year before. I was like, I don't know how we lost to Grambling.
Yeah.
That loss is still hanging on me. Okay, well, great, and I think we can beat them again.
Yeah, I agree.
Then we got Lincoln out of California. See, in our first 6 games, I'm looking at 4-2.
Well, we probably a little different, you know, because obviously we're in the trenches, so we don't look at 4 until we look at being on
6-0. Okay,
That's our
I'm saying worst case scenario 4-2. I just don't see it. And then the second part, FAMU away, they tough away. No, we play them here. I like the fact we play FAMU. Because FAMU is the team now in the East now that, well, I can't say that because Jackson State got a lot of players coming back.
Right.
But FAMU, I think is a good game for us to play to see where we are. Southern, I think we can beat Southern. Then we got Jackson State at Jackson State. We're trying to get together, get a big group of people to go to that game. Alcorn, we can beat them. And Pine Bluff. I see 8-3, but you know, I just see 8-3. Right. I just see 8-3 if we lose. Right. I just see it if we come to play. Coach, I want to one more time have you tell the listening audience what we can anticipate from the Tigers this year and what you project us to continue to strive for.
I think you project us. Obviously, we're going to compete just like we did last year. We're going to compete and we're going to be contenders for the SWAC championship, and that's our goal. That's why the guys are working now. That's why the staff is working now. So we're excited about 2023, and we're going to obviously that's what we're going to do. We're going to let the chips fall when We're going to put our best foot forward, and you know you're going to get the best product that you've seen for a long time at Texas Southern University.
Appreciate that. Well, family, you heard it from the recruiting coordinator, and you heard it from the unofficial recruiting coordinator over here, Larry Rose, because this is the guy I go with every year to go over the list. They doing a fantastic job, and I mean that. I mean, you guys doing a fantastic job. Like I say, when I saw that quarterback, I was like, oh my God, we back in stride again. So if something happened to Drew, we got it in good hands. And I don't want to do the kid from Furman any wrong, but I'm just looking at the obvious. Right. You know, I've seen this guy, this kid. I'm looking at the obvious. And so we want to thank everyone for watching the show. Hit that like button, share it with some friends, pass the word around. Because I know Coach because Coach was one of my biggest shows when I had one the last time. We're going to get this all through North Louisiana. Coach, you got family in South Louisiana too?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're going to get it all through Louisiana so they can see. So we want to thank you for checking in. And FYI, for the next show, we're trying to get Daniel Gibson, a local kid that went to the Cleveland Cavaliers and made a name when he was with the Cavaliers and with LeBron James. He's now, FYI, once again, with the Cavaliers staff. I talked with his dad this past weekend. He was trying to see, well, he's going to be in town Monday. I said, well, I can't do it Monday. I got the coach coming in. When he comes back the next time, we'll have him. So we're going to try to have Daniel Gibson in here. So we want to thank everyone for watching again. And before we get away, we want to make sure that right here, and this is to the coach's family too in Louisiana. Hit me up at fatlarrypodcast@gmail.com. Let me know what your size is, who you are, your telephone number. We'll contact you and let you know all the particulars on getting a t-shirt and paraphernalia from Sports Talk with Fat Larry. fatlarrypodcast@gmail.com. See, my mind is on this new Fandango laptop, so I forgot what my doggone email is. But anyway, fatlarrypodcast@gmail.com. We got t-shirts and we have hoodies. Okay? So contact me and let me know. Also, at the bottom of the show, go ahead and write a comment. All you young ladies there that want to know Coach's name and his eligibility, just hit me up at fatlarrypodcast.com. Excuse me, fatlarrypodcast@gmail.com. fatlarrypodcast@gmail.com. Coach, I'm not going to get you in no trouble. But anyway, without further ado, thank you, Coach. Peace out.